On March 2nd, 2025, Officer Badea of the Parma Heights Police Department in Parma Heights, Ohio, initiated a traffic stop on 31-year-old Nia McClann of Chicago for driving a vehicle with excessively dark tinted windows and and I'm quoting, Moorish National Republic Federal Government tag instead of a license plate. The interaction that followed was captured on officer body camera. Now, before we proceed with this interaction, it is important to note that Ms. McClann will espouse several arguments commonly associated with so-called sovereign citizen ideologies. Among them is the claim that quote-unquote driving is a commercial activity subject to regulation, while operating a motor vehicle for purely private purposes is merely quote-unquote traveling and therefore not subject to government regulations such as driver's licenses, vehicle registration, and license plates. These arguments have been uniformly rejected by courts, and we will not address them further in this episode. That said, we have examined sovereign citizen arguments in prior ATA episodes, and for those interested in learning more, I've included links in the description below.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how you doing?
Good. Can you put the window down a little bit more, please?
I can hear you.
All right.
What is your problem?
Sorry?
So what is the cause?
Well, you're all tinted out and there's no plates.
There is plates. There's plates in my car.
Where's the plates?
It's one in the back and one in the front.
Well, it says in the back it's not a plate. It's not an Ohio plate. Or any state.
I'm not from Ohio.
Where are you from?
I'm from the area of Morocco.
Speak up, please.
I'm from Morocco.
Morocco?
Yeah, that's the name of this country. It's called Morocco.
Okay. Well, you need a plate. You don't have a plate.
Do
you have your registration?
That's a plate issued by my consulate. I'm not from this area.
Okay, so where are you from? You said Morocco?
Corporate state, Illinois. I'm from Illinois State, the Corporation of Illinois.
Okay. Do you have your license on you?
I have my nationality card, that's it. It's my nationality card, issued by my consulate. My consulate issued this.
That's not a license.
It's a nationality card.
All right, I need a license. You need a license to drive.
I'm not driving, sir.
What are you doing then?
Driving is when
you're driving. We're not going to do the whole sovereign citizen thing.
I'm not a sovereign citizen.
That's what you're explaining to me. You're saying.
I'm not explaining that.
You're saying you just have
I have a nationality card,
right,
which is recognized by the Department of Justice.
Well, I need a license.
I'm not driving. I'm traveling.
You're driving. If you're on the road, you're driving.
What was the reason for you pulling me over?
Well, you're alternate out and you don't have plates. There's no visible plates.
One in the front and one in the back.
Is that your ID?
It's my nationality card.
Can I see it, please?
You're looking at it. I can't give it to you. My consulate said I can't give you my ID.
Okay, so there's no. You need a.
Where's your supervisor at? So I can speak to the supervisor.
You can talk to our supervisor when you're done at the station.
Okay, I'm not going to the station. I didn't do anything illegal.
We need your driver's license.
I didn't do anything illegal. What was the reason for you pulling me over?
I've already given you 2 reasons.
What's the reason?
You're alternate out.
Okay.
That's illegal. And you don't have
the window tint.
Your window tints.
The window tints.
I'm not from Ohio.
Well, we don't know that because you're not giving us an ID and you don't have no plates.
Right, I'm showing you the ID.
You have to identify yourself. Okay.
I just need to speak to the supervisor.
You can talk to him when we're done here.
Okay, well.
But we need to finish what we're doing.
Okay, well, I need to get where I need to get. So if you want to do what you need to do, I need to speak to the supervisor.
Okay, you can talk to him at the station when we're completed.
I didn't do anything illegal.
Okay, I need a driver's license and an insurance card for the vehicle.
I'm traveling.
You are driving.
I'm not driving.
Yeah, you're driving. You're behind the.
Okay, so am I transporting goods and people?
It doesn't matter. You're driving a motor vehicle on the roadway in the United States of America. You're driving a car.
This is an engine. It doesn't have a motor in it. It has an engine.
We're not going to play these games.
I'm not playing no games.
You need to identify yourself.
Nia McClann L. Nia McClann L. L. E-L. Make sure you add the E-L.
Why is the VIN number taped over on the windshield?
Because the car is not under United States jurisdiction, so I don't have to show you the VIN number.
right now.
What was that first name?
N-I-A.
All right.
Last name M-C-L-I-N-E-L.
Date of birth?
You don't need that.
What'd you say?
I said you don't need that.
I need your date of birth. You need to identify yourself, all right?
I gave you my first and last name. That's all you need. That's all.
You have to identify yourself, or else you go to jail.
Myself. Nia McClann -L. I just identified myself. I just identified myself. Did I not? You asked for a name, so I gave it to you.
Ms. McClann refuses to give her date of birth, arguing that she's not required to provide that information and that she adequately identified herself by sharing her name. Section 4507.35 of the Ohio Revised Code requires an individual who is operating a motor vehicle to have a valid driver's license in their immediate possession and to display that license upon demand by a law enforcement officer during a traffic stop. A driver who refuses to produce a license may be detained while officers attempt to verify the driver's identity through other lawful means. Therefore, when Ms. McClann failed to provide a driver's license, the officers had the authority to pursue alternative methods of identification. Unlike jurisdictions that limit compulsory identification to a name alone, Ohio law explicitly includes date of birth as a required identifier. Section 2921.29 of the Ohio Revised Code governs identification during a lawful detention and expressly authorizes officers to require a detained individual to provide their name, address, and date of birth. Accordingly, a court would likely conclude that Ms. McClann's refusal to provide her date of birth meant that she neither complied with Ohio's driver's license statute nor satisfied Ohio's stop and identify statute, and that providing only her name was legally insufficient under Ohio law.
All right, we're going to have you step out the car.
I need to speak to you.
I'm sorry?
I said I'm not stepping out the car. I need to speak to you.
Supervisor's right here.
Okay, well, I'll speak to him. I don't want to speak to you.
Yeah, come on out. I can talk to you.
Oh, no, I'm not coming outside. I can talk to you right here.
I can't hear you.
I said I'm not coming outside.
You've been ordered out of the car.
You've been ordered out of the car.
I'm not coming out the car.
You understand you're going to be placed under arrest if you don't exit the car?
I didn't do anything wrong.
You're being ordered out of the car right now, so step on out.
I'm not stepping out the car.
Are you refusing to get out of the car?
What did you pull me over for?
Well, I can see a few things. I'm not sure what the other officer pulled you over for. Right now, we're going to have you step on out. This is your final opportunity.
Where's the supervisor?
I'm right here.
What's your name?
Sergeant Mike Daly.
Okay, Sergeant.
Badge number 62.
Okay, so what am I being pulled over for, Sergeant?
I told her the tents and
I mean, yes, I have tents, but my car is private, so that's why I'm operating privately.
Okay, for right now, we're going to have you step out of the car. We got the legal right to ask you to step out of the car for a traffic stop, so step on out.
But I didn't do anything.
If not, you're obstructing official business.
Sir, I didn't do anything wrong. So how about you get the sheriff down here instead?
Nope, sheriff isn't coming down here.
Okay, well, I'm not talking.
You have to step out of the car.
The officers repeatedly order Ms. McClann to exit the vehicle, warning her that continued refusal will constitute, quote-unquote, obstructing official business. As we have discussed many times before here on ATA, the Supreme Court held in the 1977 case of Pennsylvania versus Mims that an officer may, as a matter of course and without additional justification, order a driver to exit a lawfully stopped vehicle. Under Ohio law, that refusal can support a charge of obstructing official business in violation of Section 2921.31 of the Revised Code, which prohibits hampering or impeding a public official in the performance of their duties with the purpose of preventing, obstructing, or delaying any authorized act within the public official's official capacity. Although the statute requires proof of an overt act that actually delays or interferes with lawful police activity, and Ohio courts have held that a mere failure to identify oneself, standing alone, is insufficient, the 5th District Court of Appeals of Ohio addressed a closely analogous scenario in the 2024 case of State versus Stancato. There, the driver refused to provide identification, engaged in argumentative behavior, and repeatedly declined lawful orders to exit the vehicle after the officer could not safely see inside due to dark window tint. The driver was convicted of obstructing official business, and on appeal, the court affirmed the conviction, concluding that the driver's repeated refusal to exit the vehicle, when combined with his evasive and argumentative conduct, constituted overt acts that needlessly stalled and escalated the investigation, and actually impeded the officer's ability to complete a routine traffic stop. Well, given the strong factual parallels between the Stancato case and Ms. McClann's, it is probable that a court would reach a similar conclusion here and find that Ms. McClann's prolonged refusal to exit the vehicle, coupled with her ongoing arguments with officers, amounted to obstructing official business under Ohio law.
You don't step out the car, you're going to be under arrest.
Sir, what did you pull me over for?
I'm not going to keep explaining the same thing to you. Huh?
I said, why are you all trying to intimidate me?
We're not trying to intimidate you. I've been trying to cooperate with you. She's pulled over. She's trying.
Northbound Chevy. Approaching report. Grappler's the lead unit. Stopped with the Grappler near the railroad tracks. Report. Hands over with him.
After continuing to refuse orders to exit her vehicle, Ms. McClann abruptly drives away from the traffic stop and does not stop despite being pursued by multiple marked police vehicles with activated lights and sirens. The chase continued for several minutes and ultimately ended when a Parma Police Department cruiser equipped with a so-called Grappler police bumper intervened to stop Ms. McClann's vehicle. In fleeing from the police in this manner, Ms. McClann likely committed the felony offense of failure to comply with an order or signal of a police police officer, as codified in Section 2921.331 of the Ohio Revised Code, which prohibits operating a motor vehicle so as to willfully elude or flee a police officer after receiving a visible or audible signal to stop. Well, given the extended pursuit caused by Ms. McClann's flight and her continued refusal to pull over for multiple cruisers pursuing her with lights and sirens, a court would almost certainly conclude that Ms. McClann's conduct constituted a failure to comply with an order or signal of a police officer.
Naya, open the door and step out. Hey, we're gonna bring her far right. I need a hands and a less lethal.
There's only one person in
Yes, that's it. Naya, walk backwards to the sound of my voice.
At least one.
Walk backwards.
I have the left hand.
Keep coming back.
JJ, your left hand.
Keep coming. I got commands.
I got
Step
hands.
to your right. Step over that. That's it. She's the only one.
Hey, back up here. Back up here. Walk her back to JJ.
Back up. Keep walking back. JJ, you got hands?
I got hands.
Get up on the sidewalk. Back up. Keep coming back.
All right, walk backwards.
Keep
towards
coming
my
back.
way. Keep going.
Chris.
Come back.
Chris, you got commands?
Yeah, come back. Keep coming back. Right back on the sidewalk.
You go lethal with that, Mike.
Keep walking back. Walk
All right.
back. Keep coming. 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 Step to your right. Step to your right. Get down on your knees. Lay down on your stomach and put your hands behind your back. Lay down on your stomach. Put your hands behind your back. You are under arrest. Understand that? All right, roll over. On your side. Sit up. You're gonna stand on 3. 1, 2, 3.
So you met our patrol guys tonight. I'm a sergeant at Detective Bureau. That's my partner, Detective Pursley. We're just trying to figure out what happened. We got called because there was a pursuit, and pursuits in Ohio are felonies. So that's why we're here. Okay? So why did we run? Why did we were at a traffic stop, we were stopped in the parking lot, and then we put the car in the drive and drove away. Can you tell me why we did that?
I felt like my safety was in danger.
Okay, what made you feel like your safety was in danger?
Because they put on gloves like they were about to punch out my window.
Okay. When you were driving away from them during that pursuit, were we stopping at red lights?
Yes.
Did we go...
Turn on signals? Yes, I did. I turned on my signal while I was turning too.
Okay. Were we going faster than the speed limit, the posted speed limits?
Not that I know of.
Okay. We ever drive like left to center or anything like that?
I don't drive, I travel.
Ms. McClann was released on bond on March 8th, 2025, and on March 11th, a grand jury indicted her on 4 felony offenses: 2 counts of failure to comply with an order or signal of a police officer, 1 count of obstructing official business, and 1 count of fraudulent actions concerning a vehicle identification number. Ms. McClann failed to appear for a court date in July of 2025, and her bond was forfeited and a warrant was issued for her arrest. As of the date of writing this episode, her case is still pending. Overall, the Parma Heights officers get an A+ for maintaining a professional and respectful attitude throughout the encounter, providing Ms. McClann with ample opportunity to comply with the stop, and for conducting and ending a safe and responsible vehicle pursuit. Despite Ms. McClann's false legal assertions and driving away from the stop, the Parma Heights officers remained relatively professional and did what they had to do through minimally intrusive means. Officer Badea explained the observed violations with the vehicle's tint and tag, asked for the documentation necessary to resolve a routine traffic stop and remained patient, even as Ms. McClann refused to provide basic identifying information and attempted to reframe the encounter around sovereign citizen-style arguments. When a driver is intent on derailing a stop into a debate, the easiest mistake for officers to make is to respond with sarcasm, anger, or unnecessary threats. But the tone here remained controlled and professional, which kept the interaction from escalating into force purely as a function of attitude. The officers also gave Ms. McClann multiple clear off-ramps to bring the stop to a close without custody or escalation. As discussed earlier in the video, Ohio law allows officers to require identifying information during a lawful detention, including a date of birth, and it requires an operator to display a valid driver's license upon demand. The officers repeatedly explained what they needed, offered Ms. McClann a straightforward path to compliance, and took additional steps to confirm the situation through supervision rather than rushing to physical control. As discussed earlier, they also had the authority to order her out of the vehicle during a lawful stop, and they provided repeated warnings that continued refusal would carry consequences under Ohio law, rather than treating noncompliance as an excuse to immediately resort to force. And even when the encounter became tense, their communication remained focused on specific lawful requests and the practical steps needed to end the stop. Once Ms. McClann fled, the officer's conduct during the pursuit reflected a disciplined emphasis on public safety rather than adrenaline. The pursuit itself was a serious escalation caused by Ms. McClann's choices, but the officers did not respond by driving recklessly, creating unnecessary hazards, or turning a low-speed situation into a high-risk crash. They coordinated units, monitored traffic conditions, and ultimately used a Grappler-equipped unit to end the pursuit in a controlled way, rather than gambling on dangerous vehicle contact or prolonged chasing. After the stop was achieved, they continued to manage the situation with structured commands and restraint, treating it as a safety and custody problem to be resolved, not a personal contest to be won. I commend the Parma Heights officers for maintaining professionalism under sustained provocation, giving Ms. McClann repeated opportunities to comply with lawful directives, and prioritizing public safety through a measured pursuit response that ended the incident without the reckless escalation that so often turns avoidable situations into tragedies. Now, Ms. McClann gets an F for failing to comply with basic vehicle registration and licensing laws, fleeing from a lawful traffic stop, and for demonstrating fundamental misunderstandings of the modern American judicial system. As discussed earlier in the episode, the stop began with straightforward, objective issues that are routinely enforced and easily resolved through compliance. Ms. McClann was operating a vehicle with excessively dark tint and a tag that did not function as a valid license plate, and when the officers asked for the basic documentation required for lawful operation, she refused to produce a driver's license and instead attempted to substitute a quote-unquote nationality card, while insisting that she was not quote-unquote driving, but quote-unquote traveling. From a legal perspective, the issue with that assertion is that there is no meaningful distinction between driving and traveling, because driver's licensing, registration, and plate requirements are foundational conditions of operating a vehicle on public roadways. And Ohio law expressly requires a driver to have a valid license in their immediate possession and display it upon demand during a traffic stop. Once Ms. McClann refused to comply with that requirement, the officers had the authority to detain her while they pursued alternative methods of verifying her identity, and she chose to treat that lawful process as illegitimate, rather than simply providing what the law requires. As discussed earlier, the officers' orders for Ms. McClann to exit the vehicle were lawful, and her prolonged refusal placed her on a direct path towards an obstruction charge under Ohio law. Even when officers have the legal authority to remove a driver from a vehicle, the real-world opportunity for the encounter to remain low stakes depends upon the driver recognizing that the dispute can be litigated later rather than fought in the moment. Ms. McClann refused to accept that reality. She repeatedly declined clear and lawful orders, and she treated the stop as a forum to argue abstract ideology rather than a legal process that she was required to comply with. That said, the most damaging conduct came when Ms. McClann abruptly fled from the stop. Choosing to drive away under those conditions is not a protest arrest, and it is not a procedural objection. It is a dangerous escalation that creates substantial risk to officers, bystanders, and the driver herself. Even if Ms. McClann attempted to mitigate that risk by traveling at lower speeds and stopping at lights, she still forced officers into a pursuit environment. And that decision alone drastically increased the stakes of the encounter. This interaction highlights how sovereign citizen ideology can function as a practical trap, because it persuades individuals to treat routine legal obligations as voluntary. It escalates solvable encounters into criminal liability through needless noncompliance, and it turns a manageable traffic stop into a public safety event with consequences that follow long after the cameras stop rolling.